Ah, my dear, dear audience, tonight we don't just open wounds, we sharpen the blade, twist it deep, and watch as the agony festers. It doesn't heal, it transforms. Because today we are speaking of the kind of farewell that does not simply break hearts. It reshapes them, carves them into something unrecognizable. People cling to the illusion that love is soft, gentle, a comforting embrace. But real love, the kind that lingers, the kind that refuses to die, that love is forged in torment. It feeds on suffering. It does not dissolve when you walk away. It mutates, growing stronger in your absence. And you, oh you, the one who left, the one who turned your back and walked into the night, you thought your departure would finish them, that your icy goodbye would shatter whatever fragile emotions they had left. But no, it did something far worse. It immortalized you. Now, they do not merely remember you, they worship you. Because love, true love, does not vanish when abandoned. Sometimes it becomes something grotesque, something indestructible. When you walked away, when your last words dripped with venom, you did not kill their love, you crystallized it. Now every night they lie awake, whispering your name like a prayer, reliving every moment. Except this time you are perfect. No flaws, no mistakes. Only the idealized vision of what they lost. That is what absence does. It distorts, it magnifies. It turns memories into something more intoxicating than reality itself. You see, people don't fall in love with perfection, no. They fall in love with loss, the ache, with the unattainable. And now you are their pain. You are the shadow that lingers behind every failed attempt to move on, the phantom that whispers in their mind when they touch another and feel nothing. They reach for a warmth that no longer exists, searching for you in every stranger's eyes, in every fleeting moment, only to find emptiness staring back. And the cruelest twist, the more they try to forget you, the deeper you carve yourself into their soul. They will try to drown you in distractions and fleeting bodies, in empty laughter, but you are an infection. An incurable, relentless, all-consuming affliction that spreads with every heartbeat. Every love after you is a pale imitation, a shadow of something real. But here is where it gets exquisite. The more they hate you, the more they love you, because hatred is just love in armor. Resentment is obsession disguised as rage. They can call it whatever they like, but at the end of the day, you still own them. And you are untouchable now, no longer human, no longer flawed. You have become a legend, a myth they cannot erase. You are the villain they curse and the salvation they crave, the poison they drink and the cure they cannot find. And the best part, they will never have you again. Oh, that is what seals their fate, isn't it? If you were still within reach, if they could still touch you, maybe they could tarnish the fantasy, maybe they could remember you as just another human, but no, you vanished, and in your absence you became something greater. Because people don't fall in love with reality, they fall in love with the unattainable, with the dream, and you, my dear, are the dream they will never wake from. So every time they close their eyes, every time the world falls silent, your name will slip through their lips like a curse, like a longing, like the only thing that ever felt real. Was it truly a goodbye? Or was it the beginning of their eternal longing? Because some move on, and some are sentenced to a lifetime of chasing a ghost. And you, my dear, are the ghost they will never outrun. Ah, but you already knew this, didn't you? Somewhere deep inside you understood the moment you walked away, there was no escape, not for them, not from you, because what haunts is not just loss. It's the unbearable weight of what could have been. It's the torment of knowing that no matter how many nights pass, no matter how many faces blur into meaninglessness, you remain. And oh, how they've tried to erase you. They've buried themselves in distraction and shallow connections that lack the fire, the chaos, the hunger you ignited. They've laughed too loudly, kissed too carelessly, touched too coldly. But it never works, does it? Because every time they close their eyes, every time they're alone with their thoughts, there you are, lingering, watching, smirking from the depths of their mind, knowing full well they will never be free. They will call it resentment, pretend it's hatred, scream to the heavens that they despise you. But we both know the truth. Hate is just love, burned alive. And in that fire, you have become something more than a memory. You are a goddamn ghost story. One they can't stop telling themselves, one that whispers in their ears at night, one that suffocates every fleeting moment of peace. You live in their silences, in their empty stares, in the aching void that no one else can fill. You are the absence that speaks louder than presence ever could. Because here's the brutal truth. They don't miss you. They miss the version of themselves they could only be with you. The one who felt, who burned, who lived. Every love after you is not just a failure. It's an insult, a mockery of what once was. And now they carry you like a curse. Every song, every scent, every place you touched, it all belongs to you now. You have infected their world, rewritten their story, bent reality itself to your will. And no matter how much they scream, how much they rage, how much they wish to undo the past, you are permanent. So tell me, was it truly you who laughed, or are they the ones trapped, bound by invisible chains, sentenced to a lifetime of chasing a love that no longer breathes, a love that still owns them, devours them, consumes them? Because, my dear, some scars never fade, some ghosts never leave. And you are the ghost that time itself refuses to bury. Ah, my dear audience, today we sharpen the blade, twist the steel, and watch as the wound refuses to heal. No, it festers, it thrives, it morphs into something dark. Today we speak of a goodbye that does not merely tear hearts apart, but reshapes them entirely. You see, love is often believed to be gentle, soft, and comforting, a tender embrace. Ha! True love, the kind that lingers, the kind that refuses to fade, it's not made of sweetness, it's crafted in agony, nurtured in suffering. That love doesn't die, it endures. Now, here you are, the one who walked away, the one who left them gasping for breath, clawing at memories that hurt more than any blade. You thought your cold farewell would end it all. You thought it would shatter their feelings into dust. But no. You did something far worse. You made them worship you. Love doesn't always vanish when you abandon it. Sometimes it transforms into something much more terrifying. It becomes a force stronger than before. When you slammed the door, when your last words were drenched in ice, you didn't kill their love. No, you immortalized it. Now they lie awake at night, whispering prayers to the ghost of you. They relive every moment, but this time, oh, this time you are perfect, flawless, no mistakes. Just an illusion of what they once had, a perfect memory that will never be matched. Because here's the truth. Absence distorts, it magnifies, it turns reality into a dream they can never escape from. People don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with loss, with the chase, with the pain. And you are their pain now. You are the shadow that lingers behind every failed attempt to move on. You are the whisper in their mind when they touch someone else and feel nothing. The more they try to forget you, the deeper you carve yourself into their soul. They will search for you in every stranger's embrace, in every fleeting moment of warmth, but they will never find you. Because you weren't just a person to them. You became a myth, a legend, a force beyond reach, irreplaceable. So let me ask you, did you really leave? You think you vanished? No. Your absence is the loudest presence in their life. You haunt every love song, every lonely night. Every time they look in the mirror and see the wreckage of their past, that's you, staring back at them. And the irony? The more they suffer, the more they love you. They hate that they love you, but that hate only makes the love stronger, more obsessive, eternal. People think love dies when the heart breaks. If only it were that simple. No, real love is forged in torment. It doesn't die, it lingers, it poisons, it spreads. And you are their slow, sweet death. So go ahead, keep walking, keep pretending you don't care, but know this. You own them now. Every breath they take, every tear they shed, every desperate attempt to find someone else who can make them feel the way you did, it all leads back to you. Because when love is abandoned, it doesn't disappear, it haunts. And now, you are their most beautiful ghost. Ah, but of course, why stop here? The pain, my friend, is just beginning to become exquisite. You see, most people believe love is about presence, about being there. How naive. Love isn't about proximity, it's about imprint. It's about who lingers when the room is empty, whose voice echoes when the world is silent. And you didn't just leave, you carved yourself into them. Game Lewis himself. And to them, the funniest part, they won't even admit it. No, they'll act fine, they'll smile, laugh, pretend they've moved on. But every forced chuckle, every hollow embrace, every I'm okay is a lie wrapped in skin. Deep down, beneath that mask, they are starving for you. Oh, they'll try. They'll drown in distractions, throw themselves into the arms of strangers, cling to the illusion of healing. But healing is a joke. Wounds don't close when kissed by fire. They only burn deeper. And you, my dear, were the inferno. They'll convince themselves they're stronger now, that your absence was a blessing. They'll tell themselves they've learned, grown, moved on. But tell me this, if they're so free, why does every love story they live after you feel like a cheap imitation? That's the curse of unforgettable people. No one after them ever feels real. And here's where it gets delicious. Because the more they try to hate you, the tighter you hold them. Hate? That's just love dressed in armor. Resentment? That's obsession wearing a disguise. They can call it whatever they want, but at the end of the day, you still own them. And now, you're untouchable. No longer human, no longer flawed. You are a myth, a secret worshipped in silence, an addiction they can never quit. You are the villain they curse and the hero they long for. You are both their destruction and their salvation. And the best part? They will never have you again. That, my friend, seals their fate. Because if you were still here, if they could still reach you, they might tarnish the fantasy. They might see you as human again, but no, you vanished. And in your absence, you became something greater. You became legend. Because people don't fall in love with reality. They fall in love with what they lost, with what they can never have. And you are now the dream they will never wake up from. So every time they close their eyes, every time the world goes silent, every time they catch a glimpse of something that reminds them of you, the wound reopens. And your name? It slips through their lips like a prayer, a curse. The only thing in this God-forsaken world that ever felt real. So tell me, was it really a goodbye? Or was it the beginning of their eternal longing? Some people move on, but some are sentenced to a lifetime of chasing a ghost. And you, my dear, are that ghost they'll never outrun. Now we've reached the part where the suffering isn't just felt, it's lived. At first they thought it was just pain, heartbreak, another chapter in their tragic tale. But now they understand. This isn't just a wound, it's a disease. An incurable, relentless, all-consuming infection that spreads with every breath. They don't just miss you, they crave you. Every second, every heartbeat, every moment of silence reminds them that you are no longer there. And that, my dear, is the cruelest part. You don't need to be present to survive. You thrive in the darkness, in the spaces between what was and what could have been. The world does not help. Every song, every scent, every place, every word, it all belongs to you now. They try to escape, they try to drown it out, but everywhere they run, you are there, in the faces of strangers, in the echoes of laughter, in the night sky that still looks the same as when you were beside them. You are the ghost in their mind, the shadow in their soul, the whisper that never fades. And the cruelest thought, they'll never know. They'll never know if you still think of them, if they haunt you the way you haunt them. That, my dear, is the abyss that will devour them. Because the mind can handle heartbreak, it can handle pain, but uncertainty, the question of whether they meant to you what you meant to them, that's what will break them beyond repair. They'll wonder if you ever ache the way they do. If you ever stop mid-laugh, a memory of them slashing through your mind like a knife. If you ever hear their name and feel something deep, something unspeakable, something even time cannot kill. But they will never know. And that's why they'll never move on. Because a cold goodbye doesn't bring closure, it doesn't end love, it immortalizes it. It takes what could have faded and turns it into obsession, torment, a ghost with no grave. And you are now a story without an ending, a name that will linger on their lips long after their last breath. So, tell me, who really won? Because they still love you, they still need you, they are still bleeding for you, and you are free. Isn't that delicious?